Sea otters dwell in the North Pacific. They are the largest of the mustelids, a group which also includes freshwater otters, weasels, and badgers. They are from 4 to 5 feet long, and most weigh from 60 to 85 pounds. Large males may weigh 100 pounds or more. Unlike most marine mammals, such as seals or dolphins, sea otters lack a layer of blubber, and therefore have to eat up to 30% of their body weight a day in clams, crabs, fish, octopus, squids, and other delicacies to maintain body heat. Their voracious appetites do not create food shortages, though, because they are picky eaters, each animal preferring only a few food types. Thus, no single type of food source is exhausted. Sea otters play an important environmental role by protecting forests of seaweed called kelp, which provide shelter and nutrients for many species. Certain sea otters feast on invertebrates like sea urchins and abalones that destroy kelp. Sea otters eat and sleep while floating on their backs, often on masses of kelp. They seldom come on shore. Sea otters keep warm by means of their luxuriant, double-layered fur, the densest among animals. The soft outer fur forms a protective cover that keeps the fine underfur dry. 1 square inch of underfur contains up to 1 million hairs. Unfortunately, this essential feature almost led to their extinction, as commercial fur hunters drastically reduced their numbers. Under government protection, the sea otter population has recovered. While elated by the otter's return, scientists are concerned about the California sea otter population growth of 5% a year, lagging behind the 18% a year rate among Alaska otters. Sea otters are extremely sensitive to pollution. In 1989, up to 5,000 sea otters perished when the Exxon Valdez spilled oil in Prince William Sound, Alaska. I just ate one of these power bars because I didn't have time for lunch today, Asahi protein, and little bits are still in my teeth, so I think I was working those around with my tongue a little bit and perhaps not enunciating enough. Hopefully I pronounced all those words correctly. I am not so knowledgeable about marine biology or even seafood for that matter. Wood and the colonial period. The technology of North American colonies did not differ strikingly from that of Europe, but in one respect the colonists enjoyed a great advantage, especially by comparison with Britain. Americans had a wonderfully plentiful supply of wood. The first colonists did not, as many people imagine, find an entire continent covered by a climax forest. Even along the Atlantic seaboard, the forest was broken at many points. Nevertheless, all sorts of fine trees abounded. And, through the early colonial period, those who pushed westward encountered new forests. By the end of the colonial era, the price of wood had risen slightly in eastern cities, but wood was still extremely abundant. The availability of wood brought advantages that have seldom been appreciated. Wood was a foundation of the economy. Houses and all manner of buildings were made of wood, to a degree unknown in Britain. Secondly, wood was used as a fuel for heating and cooking. Thirdly, it was used as the source of important industrial compounds such as potash, an industrial alkali, charcoal, a component of gunpowder, and tannic acid used for tanning leather. The supply of wood conferred advantages, but had some negative aspects as well. Iron at that time was produced by heating iron ore with charcoal. Because Britain was so stripped of trees, she was unable to exploit her rich iron mines. But the American colonies had both iron ore and wood. Iron production was encouraged and became successful. However, when Britain developed coke smelting, the colonies did not follow suit because they had plenty of wood, and besides, charcoal iron was stronger than coke iron. Coke smelting led to technological innovations and was linked to the emergence of the Industrial Revolution. In the early 19th century, the former colonies lagged behind Britain in industrial development because their development of wood led them to cling to charcoal iron. I still have a bit of stuff in my teeth, and a student walked by and started to walk in. I think I know which one, but they disappeared. And then a colleague walked by and waved to me. So this may have been one of my most imperfect readings yet, out of a long line of quite imperfect readings. But there you have it.